The floofs are
Floofs!
back. Yeah, I'm digging this.
Floofs! Floofs!
And two of them too.
That's all I can say. Floofs! The floofs!
Well, hail, the gang's all here. I am hardy enough to stream and run a game of D&D. So for all of you out there, thank you for joining us. We have almost 30 people watching us, and let's get going. So we're gonna start off by me asking, what were we? No, I remember at least part of what we were doing last. I was not even last week, but
Last session.
last session. Well, we had a cutaway from here because this is a scene that is more relevant to Mordecai. But
yes.
I should really zap over here first, since there was a jump made as the Repentless, a massive and still growing bio ship that can fly, was streaking as fast as its just little things that propel it through the air could. Although, I mean, the Repentless is kind of a chonker.
Tyranid warship, you mean?
And you all did a drop into the woods, which had its own interesting effects. And while you were in the woods, then bloop. Now we're gonna drop you on the ground. You were walking through. This is the fall, but things are unusually cold, so there was some frost and a light snow. Nothing you had to necessarily trudge through. However, there was an encounter with a stinky tree. That may have been more than just a stinky tree, but not too much else had come about because of that. Norlai went to investigate, ended up getting kind of scratched up in the branches. And the rest of you, just were on guard. From there, we ended up going into the town of Greenfield. And there on the outskirts of Greenfield, you
Green
had
Shield.
discovered, or I'm sorry, Green Shield, yes. You had discovered that life was okay. There were some weird floating cat things called blimps that apparently were a mutagenic result of these wild magic flowers that are continuing to grow further and further over the lands. But aside from that, life has gone on despite the invasion question mark of the Shadowheart Empire, and there's been a lot of spottings of something out in the woods. That's been a lot more recent, but ever since the things in the woods were lurking about, weird random attacks by other weird creatures have ceased. So I guess it's replacing one forest weird thing with another, but these ones seem to leave the people of Green Shield alone, and just are content to lurk about in the woods. After a quaint dinner with a quaint family and a quaint child with a quaint blimp, you then went into the city, and you began looking around. You talked to the guards on the way in, and eventually you found your way to the Tumbled Wench. Hijinks and information pursued, and this ended up in a very interesting kind of, people went their own ways, but we're kind of getting people back together. There was a bully that was dropped in manure. Mordecai, you went and you had a reflection at the both the shrine and the temple that were built, to the new and the old. And Professor, you sat down and were talking with some of mushroom hunting tourists from Shadowheart that were out this way. And am I missing any other biggish points? Maybe not.
Nope, that about
think
covers
that's
it.
got
I
it.
think.
That covers it. Oh, the
Can I get a voice check real quick and a video sync check?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
yeah.
My video is unusually complicated today, but I'm glad it's working.
It's good.
I can see and or hear you minus the or.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on a second. I need to be right back. I just saw a dog run by.
Oh, okay. I guess that would be
Doggo.
weird because I think lethality just has a cat. So,
Several. I think several. I'm not sure about the number.
Noralai, did you cast a spell?
He used to just have a cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's... but you all have a suite back at the Tumbled Wench. Bright, you have an admirer, and Noralai, you had pumpkin spice lattes.
Mm-hmm.
Several of them. Apparently, he's making you drunk on sugar or something.
You know, like they do.
Lethality, what happened with the dog?
Oh, there's just a dog that ran into the yard. It must have gotten off the owner's leash.
Oh,
So
alright.
just quickly helped out with that. Like, it's like, I don't know the dog. Why is it running into the yard?
All right. Well, so far there has been peace. You all did. For all of you in the audience, we did have a little bit of an after broadcast chat amongst the players. That would. There was some scrying done, and this was seen. There's like a big, very tall dome in the middle of otherwise kind of a sprawling, weirdly shaped hill. What you're seeing is the area where this flesh tree was before, as seen by Bright's divination eye. And there's some normal trees around too. But yeah, it was a really weird rock earth formation where this tree was that they had originally come to investigate. And they're investigating it just from, a remote distance. But this is what they saw.
Distance.
Yeah. Hopefully a safe distance. This is what they saw, and they were noodling over what this could be, what to do from here. Mordecai, you beseeched Weejas for some information. You got some replies back in Celine's voice. I don't know if those were the answers maybe Mordecai was hoping for, especially with that opening question. But you did get very short, straightforward answers.
Straightforward answers, meaning that that this particular site might not give us a whole lot of information when it comes to how to defeat these things.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the Shadowheart just put it in a bottle and moved on. And maybe that's good enough here, but it won't solve the overall problem. We still have to.
Especially if this kind of thing takes a lot more resources than maybe anyone's capable of at the moment for a global thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to probably find the main tree, which might be an odd. Find out.
We'll have to find out. I didn't really get an answer. Did I get an answer about where we should go instead, or just that this isn't going to give us a whole lot?
You had asked if you'd get new information on how to defeat Shoniroth, and the answer was no.
Mm-hmm. So it's not going to give us any new information. It's just going to give us things we already know. If we go. Which he would be back, telling everybody this at this point in the suite.
Yeah.
So
So it sounds like everything we need to do here we've already kind of done.
We know what we need to
Yeah.
when it comes to this place.
So we might. I mean, do we just want to move on to Mask of Horns?
I mean, aside from visiting the ossuary, what else do we have to do in Mask of Horns? That was from my request, even, but that's
Well, Master of Horns is also right near Old Port, where I would like to visit.
Yeah, we can check
Yeah,
up
it's on
and
the
see
way.
what sort of shape the tower is in, and maybe we can look in and see if the plant guy is there. I'm sure Noralight could use Herbert again, if it's possible.
Yeah.
So we're
And
going to
not
Old
only-
Port. Yeah?
Yep, via Mask of Horns.
Oh,
On the way.
okay. That's my hometown. Last I heard, it was invaded by Shadahar.
That's
There
their
is a
big hub
military-
on Mesomasca. Yep.
There is apparently a large Shadowheart military installation there, and I would like to scope it out, see just what they've moved down here.
Right.
Because if they're hiding anything, that might help us get rid of the Sky Shadow Leviathan.
I also haven't been back in 10 years.
It hasn't been that long,
no.
has it?
It's 12 years now.
Yeah, it'd be 12 years.
12 years now.
Wait, 12. How did it get to be 12 years? I thought it was 2 years.
Well, I
Well, no,
haven't been
like-
back in 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
before I
before
met
in
you.
10 years. Yeah,
Oh.
in 10 years before the Hell Trip, I'm guessing.
oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
confused. I was dead for a long time. I think I lost track of time. I was
Well,
confused.
you did spend
Before I
it's
met all
okay.
of you, I hadn't been home in 10 years.
Well, then maybe it'll be good to be home. Is there anybody who you'd like to visit?
I expect to run into my parents, if they're still alive, and possibly a gnome. Yeah, my mentor from before I went
Well,
missing.
I mean, that's more of a long shot, unfortunately.
Maybe. But Gaspard might be somebody that you'd like to meet.
Yeah, I sure would. That
If
would
he's
be
still
nice.
around. The old coot's stubborn.
Well, that's normal.
Stubborn but brilliant.
Also normal.
He owns a tinkerer shop, the last I saw, but that's 12 years ago, so...
Yeah, I mean, you could always send him a sending and ask how he's doing.
Yeah, I worry that they think I'm dead.
Well, then you wouldn't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, that, out of nowhere, just kind of randomly casts a sending and randomly notates, hey, I'm alive. Yeah, that's something that you say in person, right? You don't do that over a sending.
It's like breaking up. You don't want to do it over sending.
No,
That's,
not at all.
that's incredibly
No, you
impersonal.
have over message.
Especially given the length of such messages. They're rather short.
I mean, that never
What?
stopped. That never stopped Jaden.
You can't fit hi, I'm still alive into 25 words or less.
Well, yes, you can, but that's rather
You
like
can fit it into 4. You just did.
Yeah.
You can also wipe with poison ivy, but that doesn't mean you do it.
well, I'm I'm not exactly prepared for that right now, but no, I think I
I mean,
I'll always send it a letter too if you don't want it magical.
I didn't do that in the 10 years I was gone.
Well, you probably should have.
well,
I was
I
happy to
mean,
just disappear then,
oh,
and now I don't know what to do with myself now that I'm not disappeared.
well, just think of it this way: if they think you're dead and you don't say hello, nothing will ever change. So, if you like them to think that you're dead, then there's no reason to visit. But if you don't like it, the only way to change it is to visit.
Right. And I'm not sure which one I want yet. Because given the fact that we're on this thing. Oh. That was the first actual sneeze in a while.
Yeah, you haven't done that in a
Yeah.
while.
That's probably really
Been like
weird.
2 years.
But given the fact that we're going after Sean and Ruth, I don't know that I do that now. I don't know that I want to get their hopes up in the event that I'm just gonna get taken away from them again.
Yeah. Or put them in danger. I mean,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
they get tangled up in it. Well, I mean, maybe I can scry on them for you if you'd like. Do you think that would help?
It would give me an answer as to whether or not they still live.
Okay. Well, let me see here. I'm checking to see which spells I have prepared. I did not come prepared to class. Okay.
Things you don't want
So
your wizard to say.
okay, so I can't do the mind probe, so if I scry it'll probably be at bad odds because I've never met them. But if you have do you have anything? I don't suppose you have anything of theirs. I mean, we've lost all of our stuff like 3 times
I
over.
lost a lot of things.
So,
But my mom looks a lot like me.
I mean, yeah, if you give me the best description you can, then we can give it a try.
Yeah, her name is Ruth Silverleaf, and she essentially looks very similar to me. Except her hair was longer last I saw, of course. And she's a full tiefling rather than being half, like I was? Question mark?
Yeah, she's probably gonna be surprised if you show off those wing things you can do.
Yeah, that's new.
Okay, well, let's give it a shot.
All right. So from the safety of your suite here, I wonder if I have. If not, it's
Looks like the modifier is gonna be +5, because all I have is a description and I don't have any artifacts.
No, maybe I didn't save. Well, there's the wild cherry. We can do that. Boop. And that is. Here you go. Roll 20 is kind of chugging. I know, surprising, but Let's see if I can close out some other things right now. Archive view.
Oh look, it's Dragon Casimir, Skull Brighton's
Oh.
Spectator Cipher.
And regular Mordecai.
And just regular old still vampire.
Actually, yeah,
course.
it was regular Mordecai.
You know, nothing's ever changed. Nothing's changed about his appearance either. It's just his race.
Yeah.
It's race unknown right now.
Well, Bright, we'll just say that in your flash of divination, you have a little flashback to this scene, and we'll roll with it because that's fun.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so yep, you look through you're a crystal ball, your all-seeing eye. For a moment, everyone appears back as they did in Hell, except Norlai, because you didn't see Norlai there, even though she was there. You didn't see her there, but yeah. Maybe we can say Norlai looks like some gray-winged ghost with green eyes or something. But yes, you are going to roll for scrying. You calculated your bonus?
Well, my
It's a
DC
save.
it's a save, so
Or
my
save,
DC
okay.
my DC is 20, cause I'm cool like that, and so you'll get +5 on the roll. So
Okay. We're scrying on your mom. Coffee?
On
Or
Mordecai's
Mordecai?
mom. Yeah.
Okay. What does your mom do for a living? Or was she just like a stay-at-home mom?
Yeah, she's basically a homemaker. She wasn't really keen on any kind of real profession. I think I mentioned that they might have had land at one point. They weren't terribly noble, but they weren't poorer class either.
Was she the type of mom who could hear you sneaking outside and go, Mordecai Silverleaf, you get back in here?
Yeah.
All right, perceptive. So we're going to roll this with a +7 because she has a high wisdom. Right? 5 plus the 2 from her wisdom modifier. That is not going to be enough, though. That is a 12, not a 20 or greater. So, Bright, from your vision is cast across the lands at great speed as the sensor streaks out to your target and manifests. Boy, this is late at night now. Like this is like people are leaving the bar. That's when you did your manure trick.
I have true sight though, so it counts as dark vision as well.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean you're scrying on a normie. So
yeah,
what's a normie doing at this time of night?
Probably sleeping.
Probably sleeping. Yeah, you just you see, yeah. So you see a tiefling sleeping in bed.
Okay, so good news, she's still alive. And bad news, she's not really doing anything right now. But she's still alive, and she seems like there's no body parts missing or anything, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah, she seems to be okay.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she had an accident when she was a kid, lost part of her tail or something. But that's more for Mordecai to delve into. But I will not remove any limbs from her.
Okay, no unscheduled amputations. That's
Correct.
good. Yeah, okay.
You don't happen to see a human male with black hair next to her, do you?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't. But I could always scry on him separately. If you
Okay.
want to wait another 10 minutes.
We can do that. Yeah. And his name is Ezra.
You might need to do a little better than that.
Okay. Well, okay. And so Mordecai kind of goes into detail about what his father looked like last he saw him, anyway. And he's a human male with dark hair, longer dark hair when you last saw him. He's kind of in the like I said, the real estate industry, sort of. Not terribly rich, but should be in the same place if they're still married. But it's been 12 years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's turn the scrying loose. See if I can find him.
Okay. You know what? I think I have. I'll find it on the break. I think I have a really good prop that I can actually put on camera for when you do this, because I get a funny feeling that scrying is going to be a pivotal part of your all's decision making from here on out.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I'll
we
get
can
a
check
prop.
in on,
I don't have a prop for that, but I should. I'll get one. I'm
If
not
we
used to
can
being on
check in on
video,
things.
so I haven't collected props lately. Well, I'll get one.
checking in on things from a safe distance is what scrying is for.
Or if you just don't want to go through all the trouble of traveling there.
Yeah, true.
Okay. You can. What was your? Was it the same modifier?
Yeah, because I don't have any artifacts from him,
Okay.
and I've never met him. So the effective DC is still 15.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Okay. Your sensor fails to find the target.
So good news, your mom is still alive.
Okay. Bad news.
I couldn't find him. I don't know if that's because I couldn't find him or if there's a problem. But I can try again tomorrow, and maybe I can find him then. I just can't find him right now.
Yeah, you don't have to go through too much effort to do it.
Yeah.
Since we're scrying, do you think you can try to find Loki?
Sure. Yeah. I met Loki, so he won't have
That is correct.
he won't have that much of a. Do you have anything of his? I I don't know if you would.
Hold on, let me check my inventory real quick. Nothing specifically his. He has the same ring as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Well, it can't hurt. So so I have met Loki. So no penalty there. It's just at +0. And if he has the same ring as Noraline, normally having a possession would be -2. But it's not exactly the same, so you can do whatever you want with that. Oh no, a possession is -4. But again, it's not really his possession. It's just like one that's in his possession. So again, however you want to do it.
Yeah, it's specifically a signet ring for the Amosite family.
Whoa. 10 minutes pass. Nothing happens.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to find him. But again, I don't. In character, I don't know if that means he's okay or not. Out of character, I didn't see Maddie make a roll. So I don't know if that's. He could be blocked from scrying magic, kind of like Tiba, or he could be. Maybe I just didn't find him, or maybe he's not out there to find. I don't know. Could be any of those. Or maybe he's on a different plane. I don't think Scrying can see over planes. Yeah, he might not be on this plane. Maybe he's in hell like we were, in which case I would never be able to find him. So, I don't know. But I can try again tomorrow. I can keep trying until we know one way or another.
Until we find out, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if. Okay, so if we're not heading out, wait, are we heading out or are we not heading out?
I think we're gonna sleep first.
Okay, if we're gonna sleep, I want to look for Grimhilder too.
Yes.
Ah. All right then.
That is someone we need to track down.
Because I know she's alive, or at least she was the last time I saw her. But I guess that's true of a lot of people.
That's true of a lot of things lately.
I think she has.
Years.
I think she has a better chance of being alive than Loki does. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying that out loud.
All right, so hibbity hoobity gobbledy goobledy, nothing happens.
Okay.
In a
think
similar
we'll-
way that she couldn't find my dad.
I get a feeling that it's more like Loki. I didn't see Maddie make a roll.
Correct.
Is there
Out of
like an
character, you're
antenna
correct.
I can adjust? Rabbit ears. I'll minor illusion up some rabbit ears. They're actual rabbit ears, and then I'll adjust them. It's not working. Well, does anyone else have anyone they want to look for?
No, I can't say that there is. Although, there is something that came up earlier.
Actually, does it have to be a person?
I can scry on objects too.
In a
Can
place.
you try to find Yori?
Oh well, Yori's a creature. I can find Yori.
Yeah.
So I've definitely met Yori. Have I
Mhm.
spent enough time with Yori for him to count as familiar?
I
No,
wouldn't
I
say
was
familiar.
holding him constantly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was always around.
I think I should get to count that as familiar.
Sure.
Okay.
I would say there was at least a week of snake to bright time.
Okay.
Like an
So-
in-game week.
So Yori has -5 on his wisdom save.
All right. You yeah, as your sensor just quickly jumps to the location here, you see I want to make sure I'm describing this correctly. You see and hear from the sensor, correct? Or is it just seeing?
No, I think it's just vision.
Just vision. Okay. Oh no, it says
Oh
you can
no,
see and hear through.
I can hear too.
Okay.
Okay. But I don't have true sight. I don't have true sound, probably. It's not Dolby. I only have rabbit ears.
There's a room that is unfamiliar to you, and Yori is in a very decadently appointed cage, and is curled up, presumably sleeping. So seems to be a very opulent place. Seems to be very well taken care of. Plump, content, as much as you can see that. What is more alerting is the sound that you're getting from your sensor, and that ambient sound is the familiar hum, or almost like a rhythmic breathing of the repentless.
How interesting. So, good news, Yari's alive. Bad news, Silter has him.
What?
I just work here. Silter has him. He's on the repentless. He's in a cage. It's a nice cage. He's well fed. But, he's,
He was the whole time. And she didn't say anything?
She failed to mention that.
yeah, it sounds
Not
like,
alive.
yeah.
You should go back to the repentless.
We'll get back to the repentless eventually.
Soon.
Alright, so is there anything that we need to do in Mask of Horns?
One
Or
more
was that
note.
what we did?
Hold on, sorry. Because you do get to see around, like a little bit more around the target, at the base of the cage, also curled up and seemingly content and well fed, but also not confined in any particular way, is a really fat and happy frilled lizard. But it's big.
It's Snowball.
Mask of Horns is just a very quick stop off in Mask of Horns while we're making our way to Old Port. That's more where we need to be.
I mean, it's not old. Like Mask of Horns is not really on the way. It's on the coast as well, but
Well, it depends on how you want to get to Old Port. Like,
Yeah.
if we wanted to
Old
take
Port
a boat,
kind of a
it'd be
straight
easier.
shot from here.
Not really.
It'll
Don't
be
you have
easier
to-
without so many animals.
Yes.
That's valid.
Well,
So we could always just make a straight shot there.
yeah, I mean, we could always also teleport there.
If we want to risk teleportation.
Didn't we have evidence of some sort that the teleportation circle in Mask of Horns was safe?
No.
Hmm.
Circles are presumably more safe, though teleportation as a whole has been running inherent risks of errors. To put
Especially
it broadly.
given our luck with Symphonics.
Yeah.
Not sure that I run that risk.
Well, I mean, we can spend the night and set out in the morning.
Yes.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Probably prepare some things that we're going to need tomorrow.
I will have to go and let some people know some things. I will be right back.
Okay, you're leaving, and you're presumably.
I'm gonna go to the Shadowheart, the Shadowheart Mushroom Hunters.
Yeah.
And tell them I'm sorry we can't. There's an emergency that's popped up.
Okay, yeah. You leave the room. You go down. It seems like they finished eating, and they are enjoying a game of darts.
Yeah, so I'll come down and greet them in Shadowheart Common.
Of course.
It's like, now I have talked to my group, and I must regret to inform you that we are not going to be able to take you out to the into the forest. There has been a absolutely massive development in our research to develop weapons to deal with the really, really big thing, if you know what I mean. Like, they've hit a breakthrough, and we need to get this information to Old Port right away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. I suppose we'll just go out into the woods ourselves.
Although, a thing does pop into mind. As far as what's out there in the woods, the main way it seems to catch people off guard is with an absolutely horrible stench. I would suggest taking some respiratory protections with you.
One one of them chuckles and pats the breast of his coat and says that he always carries some fine restorative medicine with him, and kind of like takes a little flask out, enjoys the sniff of the spirits, and puts it back.
And Cypher just nods, being reminded of his days at the university in Fallfire. It's like, hopefully, the next time that we meet, we'll have a weapon ready to defeat the Sky Shadow Leviathan.
And hopefully the next time we meet, I'll be filthy rich.
Let us hope so. Good hunting, my friend. Good hunting.
They go back to throwing darts.
I want to see if I have something that I can give them. Like a little boon or something like that. No, not really. That's a shame. It's alright, well I'll head back upstairs to the suite so that we can get some rest and then we can head out first thing in the morning.
Okay. The dartboard takes 5 points of piercing damage as a dart hits it, and everyone cheers.
I love that, it's great. But no, I'm gonna go back upstairs and basically like, right, now that that's done. So, now that that's finished, the goal is all port is the next target, yes? Alright.
I think it is.
Because I'd very much like to check out the military installation there. If we can get the military on side, R&D will become a lot easier.
And I can always visit the ossuary another time.
Are you intending to walk there, teleport there, take magical transportation? Do you want to call DJ to pick you up in the Repentless? How do you want to proceed?
Call DJ.
Well, I was thinking non-magical transportation might be the best. It's not that far, right? We could probably hire a carriage. We've got plenty of money, finally.
Plenty of money to hire horses. Rent horses.
I could just make horses.
Or that.
Yeah, but they don't last as long.
I can do it a few times.
Let's think.
Is it a?
But, I'd rather.
To here.
Is it a large expenditure or is it fairly?
Yeah, that is a long way.
That's at least a week.
It'd be faster to take the Repentless.
Yes, but the Repentless also risks
Getting shot at by
You
old...
could go to Lake Right Eye and you could take the river down.
Yeah, and remember, every time we take the Repentless, we have to pay Selter now. We got one freebie, but that's just one.
Yeah, but while we're there, I can get Yori.
Yes, but do we even have a place to
Do we
store Yori?
Do we?
We never had to store Yori. Lorelei carries him. It's adorable.
Yeah.
But do we
He likes
risk
to,
our
He likes to
1
tuck
point
under
of
my hood. Well, I don't have a hood anymore. He'd probably just tuck in with the feathers.
Yeah, but he can wrap around her horns and stay tight there.
But do we run the risk of the Repentless getting shot down
I could
going over Old Port just
I
to
could
get
turn it
yours.
invisible again.
What did that cost last time?
I mean, I got a little tired, but I was able to do it.
No, I don't think we want to run that risk.
I think it would be fun to sail down the river from Lake Red Eye.
Yeah, we can
They
go
would
to
take it to board a donkey, though.
I mean, yes, but we don't have a donkey
money.
this time, so it'll be easier.
We have money too. We don't necessarily need to skimp. We can get the fastest ship from the lake.
It's not about the money. It's about Yori.
Would do you really want to risk our one form of transportation throughout this entire region just to get your pet?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, because that is it is struck me.
straight in the eye and says yes.
have you met Norlai? Of course she does.
It's impractical. It's not going to happen.
I've known this girl all of what, a couple of days now, and even I know that that's the kind of response that she would come up with.
Yes, I knew the answer going in, and that's why I asked the question anyway.
Look, we need to get to Old Portland fast.
We can't
What's
get
it?
there
What would
fast
be the
with
dis?
relentless.
What would be the what? Yeah, but
I
the
don't want to
issue
risk
is that-
Seltzer getting shot down. She's already mad at me for everything that happened in the Aslandian desert, and I really
Well, that's
don't
your
want
fault,
to
not
add...
mine.
I don't want to add fuel to the fire.
We also don't want to
I
get
already
stranded
owe her
back
so
on
much.
Madagascar.
Yeah, let's not catch the ire of my home. Our home, Norlai.
I'm from Assacorns.
The whole island will be against us if we continue to use the Repentless recklessly.
We
For
also need to be able to use. We also need to be able to use it to get off said island and back to the main continent, because that's where the big thing that we need to get rid of is.
Yeah, that's our only ticket to the mainland.
Because boats, several weeks, at least.
Minimum. And I don't know that we have weeks. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. We don't know.
Yeah.
And we can't take that risk, unfortunately.
I mean, Yori's in good hands. Selter's taking good care of him. And I want to get Yori back too. Now that I know he's alive. But he's safe where he is.
He'd be in danger with us.
We're going to have to call on Selter again anyway when we're ready to leave Mizamaska. And we could get Yori back then. It's not like she's gonna leave him behind somewhere.
Well, she's also going to want something in return for Yori, so
Yeah,
we don't really have anything that she really wants right now, so maybe we should spend the time that we have here on Mizamaska researching something that she might like to then trade for Yori. Because
Norlai's
that's how
probably
Seltzer
gonna
works.
trade that staff for him. I hope she gets some change back, but if not, it's her staff.
Yeah. It's risky. It's not something that we can do right now. But and I trust Bright to be truthful. And if he's in good hands
That's
being
good to
taken
know.
care of, he's in better hands there than he would be here. We're walking into the lion's den. Willingly.
You will get the test.
She just pouty and just kind of like stands off to the side, arms crossed.
He just takes her into a hug and just hugs her.
She continues to be cross-armed and pouty while being hugged.
And he pets her until she's not pouty anymore.
It takes a minute, but she eventually stops being pouty.
It's like, look, we will give you the chance to get your pet back. I promise you that. But right now, we have a much, much, much bigger concern. Like, colossal concern.
Can you be a little patient? Nor lie.
No, Loki gave me Yori, right?
I know. He's in good hands.
Apparently as a friend.
We're gonna go back.
Okay.
I promise. In the meantime, you have us. Right?
Yeah, but Loki didn't give me you guys.
No, we just kind of happened upon you, huh?
Yeah. So you could just fly there with some owls or something.
That might shave some time off of our trip. Depends on how fast a boat can get us there.
Yeah. Well, we could fly to Lake Red Eye so we don't have to walk or anything.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think we can magically either horses or owls. Owls are kind of uncomfortable. Horses are a little more pleasant, but get to Lake Red Eye and then we can just sail. That'll be fine.
It's just a matter of how long that trip will take.
Probably just a day or two would be my guess. I mean, boats going downstream are usually pretty quick.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
it also depends on the
Particularly
speed
with
of the
the
river.
experienced lake and river sailors. Experienced river travelers probably do that very quickly. And
Plus
it's
you're
not
going
like we're hurting
downriver
for money.
also.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They don't have to, like, push the boat uphill with ropes and poles.
Yeah.
They can just go with the current.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hit rapids and everything becomes so much fun. So, what would be the distance between Green Shield and Lake Red Eye right now?
Especially with magical horses, you're probably riding for. When I say most of a day, it's not even like 24 hours. Like most of a waking day.
So it's like
Like a 12-hour
it's a day
travel.
trip.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a day trip.
Yeah. I mean, your butts might be a little sore from it, but you know. Or I don't know. Magic horses might not bounce as much, so maybe it's a smooth ride. But yeah, so you'd be in the saddle for a day, and then once you're on the ship, depending on weather or unfortunate incidents in the lake or the river on the way down, it's probably gonna take maybe another day and a half to reach Old Port.
Only a couple of days.
And what's the straight shot from here to Old Port?
Straight shot. It by what way of travel?
By road.
Oh, just by road? You can. You would be able to go. You'd be able to follow a road to Lake Right Eye, and then if you wanted to go by road, you'd end up over at Mask of Horns, and then follow the coast south.
South.
Yeah,
Lake Right Eye
there's
is
not
most
too much
in
by
danger
the
at
mountains,
all.
but if you did want to go by the mountains, over here, this is the 6 landlords over here. So if you wanted to visit the what we've kind of quaintly described as like the Amish tieflings that are carving the mountainside, you can swing by there, and you would hug the mountains. It's not exactly like taking the highway, but it's also not exactly the hypotenuse, but it would be a different route. Do you want to, do you want to take the big major freeway, or do you want to take the country highway that might take you, on a, you see nature along the way and such, the scenic route?
Scenic route. Yeah.
And Cypher's probably got a map, and he's probably floating us out. It's like, Well, we could do that. We also have the road option of traveling to Lake Rideye, then into Mask of Horns, and then down to Old Port, or we can hug the mountainside and go along down to the Six Landlords and out across the river to Old Port. Those are our other options by road.
Yeah,
If it interests you as well, this pink diamond is the casino. Like the big casino resort in the mountains. And there is a military fort up here in the mountains over here. That's the lightning bolt.
Would it be faster to go by air or by land? Because I would only be able to hold it for 11 hours.
Yeah, I think
it'll
going
depend
to
on
the
what
lake
you
and then
speed.
sailing would be the easiest. Because
Possibly the
that's
fastest, too.
far enough that we could take Lorelai's horses without running out of horse. And then it's the fastest route because it's not really that much longer than going by the mountains, but it's part of its on water, and it's actually shorter than going to Mask of Horns, which we don't really need to go to anymore. So
Yep. So that we
My
yeah.
boat
So
is
we can go on the boat.
by river. Yeah. Go to the lake and then
Or
hop on a boat down the river.
either way, before we even decide what we're going to do via either boat or road, because the matter is going to depend on weather conditions. We need to get to Lake Rideye first anyway. So why don't we do that and decide whether we go by boat or by road, depending on the weather when we get there.
yeah, that's
I'm
that
just
one
talking about
possibility.
from here to like Rideye. I can only do it for
I mean,
11
if we
hours.
really wanted to, I could. It takes a very, very powerful spell, but I could control the weather. That's not an issue anymore.
I can do that too.
Snorlai's got a...
Simon just raised his head. I'm sorry.
I'm
You
glad
could
I didn't
what?
take that spell after all. I thought about it, but I didn't.
It's a very intense prayer, but yes.
I can just do it. I did it when we were in Uct. You know how it was raining and then it wasn't raining. I can do
Yeah,
that.
no, you can clear storms and control wind around you in an area
I guess
around
it
you.
does make sense for Storm Sorcerer.
Yeah, no, that's their like
Control weather.
sixth level
I
like
get-
exploration ability. It's like
Out of
limited
character,
control weather.
I can control the direction of the wind, so no matter the weather conditions, I can make the boat go faster.
That is true. You can do that.
The owls always have tailwinds too, it's great. And the horses, but it doesn't matter as much for them.
Their manes look fabulous, though, as they gallop.
Any way you look at it, we can definitely use things to our advantage, but they're, pretty powerful things to be doing.
All right. Well, let's go to sleep, and we leave at dawn for Lake Rideye.
All right. Anything you guys want me to prepare for the meantime? Because I hate to go unprepared for something.
I need to have a look at the cleric spell list, I guess.
No, well, you don't have to do that. More along the lines of, do I prepare control weather because Norlai has it or not?
She has a weaker control weather.
Now she might have, I don't know.
I can make it stop raining and change the direction of the wind. Which is all you really need.
I can do it in a 5-mile radius, so.
I mean, I can also cause a thunderstorm, but that wouldn't help.
No. Okay, then yeah. We're gonna go to sleep and I'm going to prepare control weather.
Just in case it starts doing something like snowing.
Yeah, as much as you're talking about rain,
Oh,
it might end up being
that's
snow.
right. It's winter.
Well,
It's winter. The river could be frozen.
Well,
We're getting into winter.
Yeah.
Rather.
Into winter. It's fall, but winter's arriving earlier because they have been.
Yeah, and they've been colder too. So we'll need to make sure that the river is even able to be traversed.
Is the river small enough to freeze over?
Historically, it hasn't.
I would know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Historically, it hasn't, but then again,
yeah.
we're in very unprecedented times.
Historically,
So-
it hasn't, or I mean, maybe there's that one like a century storm that would have clogged it up. But at least around the lake, that stuff gets broken up pretty quickly because there's also a lot of people who harvest the ice to hold on to things, keep things chilled longer in a mundane fashion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We are gonna have to have a look at what the conditions are like when we get there. Because if we don't, we could get there and things could be unfavorable in a way that we may not be able to deal with.
No one has Druidcraft?
No, I didn't.
No.
Ah.
The only one who could even possibly take that is Noralai, and Noralai don't have it.
Coffee could have if he stayed a bard.
I'm a cleric now.
Yeah,
But
no
you-
going back. No takesy backsies for a cantrip that's useful in this one circumstance. Don't even ask. All right. Well, the night is going to pass. You are all going to wake up not dead.
That's good.
You have a good night's sleep. You did get a nice room.
I'm gonna roll new portents.
There is, yep, you roll your portents. There is a continental breakfast, as per usual, in the Tumbled Wench downstairs for any of you.
Those portents aren't as good as the last portents.
Oh.
Chocolate croissants. That's part of a continental breakfast, right? Pretty sure it is.
What are? I'm sorry?
Chocolate croissants. Oh, sorry, pan au chocolat, rather.
You might be able to find it, especially because you got the nice room here. Sorry, I didn't hear you the first time because I was trying to come up with a pun to combine impotence and portents. And you said something that just derailed my train of thought, and hundreds died in the crash.
We'll call them importance.
Important. love
all
that,
right,
it's
so
great.
Divination Wizard is set. Are you changing anything in your spell book, or are you good to go with that?
I mean, I'm memorizing new spells, but I'm not.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing happening to the book.
Noralai, you're locked in, so... Professor's locked in, so this just means Mordecai is swapping something out?
I'm doing a little flippy swaps.
Yep.
Falls are up to
Spell prep.
Okay, we're gonna do Perfect. I have my spells chosen for the day.
Alrighty. The day is, Oh, alright. The day is... cool. It's one of those fall days where, if you're in the sun, it's nice. But if you're out of it, or if there's a wind blowing, then it's chilly. So it's not too bad. And the sky is only partly cloudy. Unfortunately, there may not be a ton of sun because you are going to be taking logging trails from Green Shield to Lake Right Eye. But, I mean...
Unless we fly.
Those are very well established
fly.
because they harvest the wood, they bring it to the lake, then they take the lumber down the river to the cities. So there's a lot of infrastructure and things there.
That's a good question. War horses have a speed of 60 feet.
I think giant elks do too.
if that's the case, it's going to be better to fly.
Wait, were you just lobbying for giant elks?
The giant
No, I said-
owls.
Oh,
Owls.
owls. I thought you said giant elks do too. You know, I could see Norlai, I guess, wanting that instead of a warhorse. It's a little more exotic.
Yeah.
You
Actually, they're
design-
huge. I mean, if I upcast, I can summon more than one.
Come on, indulge. Give yourself something special.
They're huge, so probably 2 to us to 1 would be fine.
Yeah.
Actually, they're huge. We could probably all fit on one.
Well, you do have Bright. Bright could probably ride up in the horns.
Yeah, we're 3.
I don't want to
medium
ride on
creatures and 1
horns.
small.
That's not safe.
No, riding on the front of the vehicle back in hell was a bit precarious.
You beat me to it. I was just gonna say, what? You've already done it. Come on. Whoops! And my headset died. 1 second here.
I
gotta
was
plug in.
I was much less concerned about
Computer's
my
gonna make a
safety
beep boop
in
noise.
hell.
Oh, giant
Yeah.
giant eagles are 80 feet fly.
And
Can you spawn 4 of them?
If I upcast.
boop, boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
but their produce
Hey,
is
there we
always
go.
stale.
I just came back at produce is always stale. What did I miss? Well, we're talking about riding a hell machine, and now we're what?
Giant eagles have a fly
Oh,
speed of 80.
Okay, giant eagle. Yep, got it. All right.
They're large, so we could do we could probably do 2 to 1.
No, I wouldn't say 2 to 1 on that.
Maybe.
A horse is large. Too.
I could, yeah, I could upcast it to I could upcast so I could do 4 of those.
Maybe Norlai and Bright, because both of you are more svelte.
Slightly small
Yeah.
and a very small.
But Mordecai and Professor would need a horse each.
Okay.
They're man spreading, just they got to get their own horse.
That is funny.
Okay, so yeah, it's
You two
between,
wouldn't even
it's
ride
between
side
owls
saddle,
and
so.
war horses.
What's that?
It's between the giant owls or the war horses then.
Yeah, so giant owls are the same as war horses, then I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Size-wise.
speed-wise, it's 60.
I'm good with a warhorse, but whichever. I think the horses would be more comfortable. We'll have really sore shoulders, and we know that's bad if we take the owls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're so soft.
I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, terribly, if we're not exhausted.
I won't exhaust you. It's a proven, overland highway, and you're on magical beings that probably won't be as jostly or twitchy or needing as constant command. So
Then warhorse as it is, I'll make that decision fine.
there
I
we
mean, if
go.
we're
You're
trying to
putting
be
your tail
sneak-
down.
If we're trying to be sneaky, giant owls have a +4 to stealth.
We're not trying to be sneaky, really, though.
Yeah, we're gonna walk right
Okay.
up to the front gate. So
Alright, we'll do war horses.
I sense a tinge of disappointment.
I like flying, okay?
I do not.
Flying is
I'm
cool.
scared of heights.
Yeah.
I do not like heights.
I mean, I know I don't need an owl to do it, but it's fun. She just casually hovers for a second.
I don't know. When you spend 3,000 years with flying as your only means of transportation, it's not as fun anymore.
It's fun to. It feels better to finally feel the ground under your feet in it. Again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like my feet firmly planted on the ground. Thank you.
Well, that makes one of us. Casually hovering.
Nothing is stopping you from doing exactly what you want.
Do you want an owl, Norlai?
No, it's fine. I'll summon the war horses.
Puffed out cheeks, just sort of like an irritated twitch of her tail. Take your war horses. How many times are you casting this spell?
I can cast it up to 11 times.
Excellent. How many times are you casting it right now?
Well, I could only cast it once at a time.
Oh, sure. Can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Yes.
Oh no.
Hold on. Sorry, my sheet's loading. I'm gonna use my 3rd level spell first. Roll 1D100.
78.
78?
Okay. You cast polymorph on yourself.
But turn into an owl.
If you fail the saving throw, you turn into a sheep for the spell's duration. So I need you to save against your own spell difficulty, Norlai.
Okay, my spell save is 16. What's the save?
Yours.
Polymorph
No,
is
I mean-
wisdom save.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I was thinking DC. Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
She's a sheep.
Nora can make saves.
So Norlai, you
Just like Casimir.
Norlai, your spell does go off, and there
Can
are
Hold on, can I just turn into a warhorse out of spite? Fine, you want warhorses?
Would Bright want to ride a sheep though? Like, just it's a nice fluffy, lots of wool.
I would obviously love to ride a sheep as long as it doesn't hold up the party and like slow things down.
I mean,
Hold on. Do we have the stats for a sheep right here?
I don't think they move 60, but
My Conjure Animals page does not have sheep available.
oh, well, what?
I think sheep are actually in the PHB in the back with all the harmless creatures.
They might be.
That might be.
don't know.
Sheep.
What we'll do
Yeah.
this. Norlai, you turn into a sheep. You are polymorphed into a sheep. However, I will say that you can slightly hover above the ground, and so you are not confined to a normal sheep speed. You can just sort of gallopy trot beside the war horses because you're hovering.
If she can hover, we can just tie a rope between her and one of the horses.
I get my kite. I finally get my kite. Well, you're not like super high up, but at least they can drag you like a trailer behind. It's happened, everyone. I've been pushing for this so hard, and I finally get it off of a wild magic surge. Yeah, so if you want to hook up Norlai, who
I'm
I mean,
trying to think of
if any of you want to de-polymorph her, then you
Blemp
just
and Ba.
you take the sheep to slaughter, and but otherwise,
no
yeah.
slaughtering sheep.
Norlai, your two majestic steeds, Mordecai and Professor, are there, and then there's I guess a purple wooled sheep, just kind of floating there. It has a bunch of like static electricity, kind of like zapping all across the wool, and these six.
I
little
turn
sheep
into a
horns.
Mareep.
A Mareep?
It's a Mareep.
Yeah, you do.
I approve.
All right. Well, welcome to Wild Magic, everyone. So yes, this is a. I think Bright knows what she's going to be taking, so you boys can climb on your war horses and move along. Now, how long does your horses last?
An hour.
An hour. Okay.
How long does polymorph last?
10 minutes, I think, or 1 minute.
A minute? No, an hour. It can last an hour if you concentrate
okay.
on it. Or she can always bonk her head for like 3 hit points and be done with it.
Well, that would also get rid of the horses.
Yeah. I think,
It has.
I mean, if she can just be a sheep during the first leg of the journey, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, very well.
She's ignoring us for that
three
first
magical
hour.
steeds appear, and uh, I may not be able to draw, but I have a vivid imagination, and this is wonderful.
I'm hoping
just trotting through the woods with.
I'm hoping that a Wu decides to draw this.
I don't have my sketchbook next to me.
So you set out, and for the first hour, I mean, a sheep can. She looks very determined. Those rectangular pupils just focus straight ahead. Mordecai and Professor, you're atop mighty tall war horses. You get a good view of what's around you, because you're a good ways up, and it's pretty well going. There are other travelers on the road. You are getting looks from them. I mean, the horses themselves, not necessarily. A couple compliments, like, oh, yeah, they look really, they look really, big and strong and such. Because I don't think, do they glow? Like, do those conjured animals glow, or do they look normal?
Believe they look normal.
Okay. But then when they see you dragging a purple floating sheep behind you, I mean, you're already going that way and they're going this way, but you're just getting some head turns and like, what in tarnation? Just so this goes on for an hour.
They start thinking heckin' wild magic.
Well, I mean, people, things are happening in the north anyway.
Things happen in this region for nothing phases anyone at this point. In the grand scope of things of Athabasca, nothing phases anybody anymore. Weird things happen. It's a fact of life now.
An hour passes, and Norelai tumbles out of her sheep form, and your war horses poof out of existence. You'll need to cast again.
You guys still want more horses?
Yes, we want war horses for the whole way.
Okay. Bunch of losers.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, man, being a sheep made her grumpy. All right.
Before she casts, I'm gonna bunk her on the head.
I mean, I wanted to hire a carriage. Let's.
Sure, that's the sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
The completely normal, what anyone would literally do. All right, you rolled a 48 with this conjuration. And so this means a unicorn controlled by the DM appears in... All right, so...
Do I summon unicorns instead?
I guess... yeah, unicorns appear instead of war horses.
Wow.
She just gets up on and starts riding off with it, you guys.
Once more, going down the highway, a lot of people, to and fro with lumber, worked goods, crops coming in from the fields and whatnot. You pass by a lot of people who see 4 individuals riding unicorns down the highway. A lot of heads turn, a lot more what in tarnations. And, well...
Mordecai is beginning to think that she's doing this out of spite because she's mad at him.
You do have plenty of time to reflect on that as you're traveling through the beautiful fall woods. Oh gosh. While you're on this leg of the journey too, on your unicorns, each of you can give me 1 perception check, please.
Okay.
I'm not feeling very bad at this now.
Oh, come on!
Oh, jeez. Wow, that's a lot of red numbers. And if not red, then just...
Awful.
Yep.
We all roll.
The highest number, everyone, you can't see it, and that's for your safety. That's that's a 12 is the highest among them. But I believe.
Oh, that's weird. There's 2 8s, 2 9s,
What are the odds?
3 red numbers.
See, Mordecai used to be very, very good at this. Now his eyesight is utter garbage.
All
Mordecai
right.
needs glasses now.
Nothing in particular jumps out at you. That's probably good. Okay.
Vampire vision's gone.
Yep. I gave you the option to stay a horrible creature of the night, but you. Although you could
It's
walk around
fine.
during the day. Go ahead and an hour passes, and the unicorns just sort of like glitter bomb out of existence. Shukan, thank you very much for the re-up.
Third cast. 11.
Okay. Roll a d10, please.
8.
Right. You grow 8 inches in height.
Oh,
Well,
no.
now she's the tallest of all of us.
How tall are you now?
That would make me. That would make me 6 foot.
Wow, you're the same height as Mordecai.
I hit my growth spurt.
Oh yeah, she's all grown up now.
I'm looking on in horror. Like, you grew 8 inches?
Yeah, and
Yes,
the war horses are probably even a little bit larger too. Like you're getting like Clydesdales like summoning, as well. But yeah, Norlai, your height adjusts to the mounts that you summoned. However, this doesn't wear
Mordecai,
off,
can you help
so
me up onto the
you're
horse?
6 feet.
It's too big.
Yes, my friend.
Are you taller than your brother, or?
I don't know his height offhand.
Yeah. All right.
You
Well.
might be now. Who knows?
Now she has a little brother.
Yeah. All right, Miller, lurk away. Thanks for all of you who've been coming in and going out too. I hope you're enjoying this, as we're now on cast 4.
That was 3.
3. Yeah, so cast 4 as you continue to make progress. A lot more looks, but no one's really, like, these are big workhorses. You're going down a lumber trail. There might be a little rarer breed to get these big ones, but you're not exactly turning as many heads. But eventually the Clydesdales go, and the next animal summoning.
Yep. I know. I was checking upcast because I'm using 4 now.
Okay.
I don't get doubles until 5.
Ah. 29, and this is you teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see. So all the horses appear normally, except Norlai disappears somewhere. I mean, you just teleport onto the back of the horse. You can go back up into a tree if you want. I don't know what you'd want to do, but you get to teleport somewhere.
I'd probably make my way back.
Okay.
I was
Oh, sure,
hoping
she
that
just-
the horses would travel by teleporting. Like, instead of walking, they just poof
Oh.
along.
Poof.
Blink horses.
Mordecai is also beginning to think that this kind of thing must be inconvenient for Norlai.
So we'll say that so that happens every once in a while during this hour. The horses will randomly just
Going
teleport 60
forward.
feet ahead. Yeah. And that does cause a couple
know,
heads to turn along the logging trail.
It shaves off a few seconds of travel, but
Yeah.
maybe a few minutes.
Yeah, you definitely scared a couple people when just a horse just, you know, they're like, oh yeah, let's wave, whatever, be friendly, maybe offer to trade along the trail. But yeah, it just disappears and then right there, and then you all are kind of looking at each other. And all right, cast number 5. The blink horses blink out one last time. It's time to re-up and continue your journey to Lake Right-Eye. With a 51, Norlai, as the power flows through you, a spectral shield hovers near you for the next minute, granting you a +2 bonus to AC and immunity to magic missile. I don't know how you want to flavor that, but maybe the
Can I flavor this that the war horses appear with like ethereal armor?
yeah, that works. Unless you want like a covering or something, like a little bubble that's like.
Or you're shielding yourself from like, I don't want to look at you.
I think it's cool I'd put on the horses.
All right. The clouds have picked up. There's no precipitation, but it is colder and windy, and it's just a gray sky as far as you can see. No precipitation, though, but it is getting... the clouds have gotten thicker throughout the day. Okay, roll number 6.
Alright, this is my last fourth level.
With a 35, I need you to roll a d10, please.
Uh-oh.
One. You regress 1 year in age.
Well, what was that about your birthday?
I'm 18 now. I'm still an adult.
Yeah, so I guess... How would that even... It's not like you'd have, like, crow's feet or anything by now.
Yeah,
so.
not like she's aged very. She's still young. She's
Yeah, so...
Not to be very apparent.
I don't know.
Do I just reverse my growth spurt?
No.
Alright.
But,
Your horns are just a centimeter shorter.
yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
very
maybe your
slightly
horns are a little shorter.
Like barely noticeable unless you're like really looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah, your tail and your horns
That's like
are a
18
little
years
bit
of
shorter.
growth up there.
Okay, so, I mean, Norlai, you might feel a little weird, but everyone was kind of braced for something to happen, and apparently, Norlai, you feel something. Mordecai, you're used to having a tail and horns. You might notice something, like, slightly off because you're just used to looking at her, and it's a sort of a, you know, you live with other tieflings, you get to know the subtleties.
Yeah.
So maybe you give her, like, a double look or something, but, yeah, you got war horses.
But they're not born with horns. They grow over time, over your lifetime.
Well,
And so,
yeah.
and so, if they're a little bit shorter, it's like that's noticeable when you have horns.
All right, the war horses plod along, and we're on hour 7.
Yep, I gotta use a 5th level spell. Which means, if you guys want 2 giant elks,
You could. I'd allow you to double up on an elk, because they're huge.
They also turn more heads. So
It.
I'm
the entire time now.
Well, you tell me what you're summoning, and then roll a d100.
I'm summoning the elks.
Ooh.
D7.
Yeah, Mordecai, you're just like enjoying some snacks on the side of the road or something while she's getting this ready, and then you just look around, and not only do two giant elks appear, for the next minute, any flammable object you touch that isn't being worn or carried by another creature bursts into flame. Okay, so she summons two giant elks, and Noralai ignites on fire. She's not in pain, but she's just on fire. And like the crispy, like the leaves, the fall leaves of the forest that are like blowing past, just sort of like just ash around her.
I thought lightning was your thing now.
This happens sometimes, though.
And
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I just randomly light on fire.
It's probably like blue fire, though. It's probably like electric blue.
Yeah. Okay. How about all that fire? So hopefully yours won't burn for 8,000 years.
No, it's a few minutes. That's all.
Okay. Do I need to cast Investiture of Flame to sit next to her?
yeah, you probably would, yeah.
Is there room for me on the other elk?
Fortunately, she extinguishes herself after a minute, so she can mount up on the elk and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep, fire just stops as soon as just as quickly as it started. And between your almost epic level characters, between the four of you, well, I guess it would be three because one is causing the almost forest fire. I will say that the three of you are able to snuff out any blowing, ignited leaves in the in the fall forest.
Yeah. I'm just casting prestidigitation to put fires out everywhere we go.
Though Noralai, there's a bear in the woods. It's just giving you like a look, like. Okay, hour 8. The elks. It's different. Smooth ride. You do turn heads. And hang on. There's a chance of something happening. Uh-oh. What did I do?
What did you do?
Your roll 20 barked.
Apparently it did.
We do not see you in roll 20 anymore. There you are.
I didn't even lose internet. When has Roll20 ever bugged out? This is so weird.
Yeah, you totally didn't back out of the page or anything.
Oh, totally.
Totally not. You know.
I don't think I did.
We're professional streamers.
I have a
y'all.
button for it, but I don't remember hitting it. All right, well.
It looked like it did on the stream.
Oh.
Anyways, so rolled a 98.
A 98 for 2 more elks, I presume.
Yep.
Oh, you're surrounded by faint ethereal music. So we're gonna say that your each of your elks sort of has a little radio and is producing music.
You know, you gotta have music on the road
trip. Mordecai's very tempted to pull out his violin and start actually playing something while on the road, but that's going to distract everything.
It's you upcast. We're on some elks. So if you want to play along, this can be a persistent effect for the duration of this leg of the trip. If you want to sing along. However, the
Mordecai will
go
do
ahead.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll do that for a little bit.
Boy, none of you are on camera, so can you still see me?
No.
No.
I do not.
Oh. Hey, I see a bright. I see.
If you go to the Roll20 settings page, like it's the little gear on the top right,
Yeah.
you can click reconnect and it should load everybody.
Oh, everyone's up. Well, except Dark Wolf just.
Oh, I refreshed my page too.
Okay.
Give it a second.
Quingar says, never buy flowers from a monk. Only you can prevent florist friars.
That's a bright level joke. Fluff looking
You see
called
now,
out.
see now I'm looking around for someone by the name of Mockery.
And that goes in the verbal component section of the spell, and I will reconnect to see if I can get a dark wolf. So yeah, besides the fact that there's 4 people riding on 2 giant elks. Okay. You get a couple people along the trail. I mean, they're amused by the singing and, of course, this interesting parade. But you are getting a couple people who have asked if you know where there's more of these that they can hunt in the woods.
Oh no, they're magic.
Oh, okay. That's just the straight up reply.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're magic. They disappear in an hour.
Oh. Wow, I thought maybe you'd have one to... I'd pay top coin for one. That's a lot of meat.
Yeah, but they disappear in an hour.
Good
so.
antlers for a trophy.
Also, yeah, but, you know, if they kill them, they disappear too, so.
All right.
See, what you're supposed to do is sell it to them and then quickly get away before they catch on.
Yeah, but I don't have enough slots to do that. If we didn't have to be somewhere soon, I probably could have.
Okay.
Hour 9.
9. Let's see. This is level 6. Which means 2 more elks.
Oh, everyone gets their own giant elk now.
Or no, just 2 elks.
Oh.
Level 7, I can do everyone with an elk.
That's luxury, because y'all can just stretch out and... It's like a Cadillac, but it's a caribou. You rolled a 62. Alright, and you upcast this here, so... Noralai, for the next minute, but it's going to be longer than a minute, you must shout when you speak. So the conversation starts, and Noralai seems to have trouble controlling the volume of her voice.
You know, let me just make it worse.
So you go marching along as her song fills the air. Noralai, you're almost to the lake. You know, it's been a day, and in fact, the weather it hasn't rained. It's gotten cool, if only for the evening. Nothing too worse. The clouds have broken up some, but it is getting dark. And, you know, the trail is what it is. You've been doing this for a while. You haven't had a cookie in like 15 minutes. Like, it has just been an absolute bear of a time. But yeah, what are you talking about for this leg that, if you decide to, obviously the effect you'll learn about pretty early that you can't control it. But that being said, you're going to be not controlling this for perhaps a great amount of time. Are you quiet? Do you want to sing? Do you want to just talk about anything?
Trying to think of what I need to yell at the party about.
I mean, Mordecai's
I've already
basically
yelled
like a
at
brother.
him.
You can always just yell at him for something. Ow.
Well, I already yelled about Fenrir. What can I be angry at you guys about? I've already yelled at you guys.
Wah, 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 wah.
This should have happened sooner.
Well, then you can just make disgruntled huffs and ugh, and other sounds of
Very loud disgruntlement.
yeah.
Very, yeah.
Okay. And the final leg of the trip here. Roll again, and what will be carrying you into Lake Red Eye?
Everyone gets an elk, as I'm using a level 7 spell.
Oh, you are going owls. Okay.
No,
Oh,
elk.
elks.
Oh, elk. Okay.
Elk. Everyone gets an elk.
Everyone
Giant
gets an elk.
You
Yay,
get an elk.
elks.
And you get an elk. And you get an elk.
As
I like it.
4
So nice.
huge elks appear. A random creature within 60 feet of you becomes poisoned for 1d4 hours. Okay. 4 elks appear, but
Someone's getting motion sickness.
they just look kind of sickly. And like one of them's kind of like hacking up something.
No, that doesn't usually happen.
And their heads are just sort of like hanging down as they kind of are clomping along.
Are you tired from all this shouting? These elks aren't very good.
Cypher, one of the prongs on
maybe.
the rack of your elk just sort of like falls off. Like a fall leaf from a tree.
Cypher just looks at it, looks at Norlai. Right.
Look, I'm putting in a lot of work here. It's not like you guys are doing anything.
I wanted to hire a carriage.
Bright,
Yeah, well, that would have costed money.
you're riding behind Mordecai, and there's an affectionate term called road apples that horses are known to leave on city streets as you go through the park or whatever. Mordecai's elk has road applesauce, and it's not looking too good. And unfortunately, you're downwind, so. But yeah, Mordecai your elk stops for a second, like shudders, and there's just a sound behind you that just, you don't need to turn around. It's probably best if you don't.
Should I break concentration and resummon?
So what? This creature is basically poisoned?
Yeah. I mean, mechanically, you just had a huge creature just absolutely empty itself out on the road. It was terrible. It just kept going. You thought it stopped for a second. Round 2. Terrible.
I'm gonna break concentration and resummon with my last.
But Bright's the one downwind. It hasn't even hit you yet. Don't worry. Oh, you're just gonna pop them and say no.
I'm popping them.
This is worth a level
Yeah,
8 spell
very
slot to
defective.
put them out of their misery.
Return authority, these elks.
I mean, I could have just cast Lesser Resto from my staff and it would be fine.
This is faster.
All right, Norlai unsummons them, and they just sort of like fall into a pile of sludge, and then bloop, magically leave. That doesn't stop the memories that will last the couple hundred years you still have ahead of you, Bright.
Actually, I'm memorizing the smell, so I can use prestidigitation with it.
Oh, that's gross and a good idea too.
If he ever takes Stinking Cloud.
Oh yeah, that's.
I actually have that. As it turns out, it's not a very good spell, so I'm not using it much. But
for not necessarily that effect, although you brought up a good idea. Bright, can you make a con save, please?
okay, just a minute. There it is. Oh, come
Oh,
on.
that's a rip. All right.
All of my numbers have been read today.
Well,
Poor Bright.
Bright,
Maybe I paid too much attention to the spell.
you, I don't know. I'll, if you want it to fade to black, you can. If you want to describe what happens when just the sight, the sound, the smell, of
Just
what just
turns
emptied
your
out in
stomach
front of
inside
you
out.
happens, but
Does it
yeah,
turn your
you, that's,
stomach
that,
inside out?
everyone out there,
Is that
that's a
what's
red
happening?
number. That was a big fail on a con save against, just a,
It's something bad enough to make you hurl.
Yeah. So,
at least.
I mean, at first nothing happens, and I'm actually kind of curious about it. You know, I'm sniffing, and I'm like, ooh. And I'm like, ooh. Please look away.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's everywhere!
I'm
no.
aiming for the existing pile.
Yeah.
You know, so nobody has to know.
Is it
But
at
I
least
don't
like
think I made
rainbows
it.
or something? Like,
No, I'm not a unicorn. It's not
Oh,
rainbows.
okay.
It's normal.
Oh, no.
No.
We're only cute on the outside, unfortunately.
I'll just I'll just fix that real quick.
This is like the story that Chunk told to the Fratellis in the Goonies when he was at the theater. And if none of you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Goonies. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You should really see the Goonies.
But when
Watch
you
the
get to that
Goonies.
scene, Chunk is describing a chain reaction, and so Professor, I don't know if any amount of prestidigitation is really going to help out what just happened.
Yeah, I don't
here.
think so.
Oh no, I'm not cleaning it up. I'm just changing its color so it looks like Bright is vomiting rainbows.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that you could do. I'm free to do that.
That I can do. Look, I could try and use it to clean the floor, but there's just so much.
Yeah, so this turns heads and gets a couple other solicitations as well. However, the elks are desummoned and resummoned, and
I rolled a 28.
with them, all your spells with a casting time of 1 action have a casting time of 1 bonus action. So Noralai, you feel like you're riding into town on like this caffeine high. Like you're just whatever. You're accelerated. You're twitchy. You're just, you know, lightning is kind of like crackling a little bit more, even more quickly, more often.
You guys shouldn't have let me have the chocolate croissants.
But yeah, Noralai is jittery. As just. And if you
What
want to
else is
cast
new?
spell, you got cantrips or other stuff that you can cast while on the back of an elk, and it doesn't break your concentration. But yeah, you can. You're just like, "Boo, boo, boo. Hey, what's this? Hey, look at this, Boo," or whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to cast, but yeah, this.
Noralai, I'm gonna be awake forever.
Unfortunately for you, Noralai, this last hour just feels like another 10 on top of it, though. Like, it's that, are we there yet? You know, the elk takes 2 steps. Are we there yet? Like, because you're just so accelerated. And you're shouting it out 300 feet into the
This-
forest.
Yeah. Are we there yet? Just cast thaumaturgy. Do
As a
different
bonus
things
action.
every 5 seconds.
Yes, bonus action thaumaturgy. Juggling effects, etc. And, yeah, you can...
Yeah. Ice is just blue, green. It's like blue, green, yellow, blue, green, yellow, red. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And then the loud one. Are we there yet?
Wow.
I make some random drum beats every other cast.
Noralai's eyes just basically become a rainbow LED.
Oh, yeah, like RGB, sort of like shifting...
Yeah. Then yeah.
I need a. Someone
I'm
just
gonna-
needs
You almost have like
edit
hypnotoad
go to, like,
eyes. Just
profile picture to make the eyes change color.
Well, I'm just expecting now. I'm going to experience 300 hours of uninterrupted consciousness. I want to glimpse the face of God.
Fortunately, you all reach town. You're intact. You are on 4 elks. One of you might have RGB pupils and is speaking very loudly and is just a jitterbug. But there's Lake Rideye. It is nighttime. And
Are you muted, Bright?
See, this way people can tell me when I'm muted. You have no idea how many times I've said things, and nobody knew.
as you
Video
arrive
is
in
great.
town, you're taking the road here from this entrance into Lake Rideye. And for those of you who were characters during this leg, this part of town has the Robin's Egg.
Yeah, you know where Celine went with the dragon.
For business.
Oh,
I thought that was in Mask of Horns.
that was Massive Horns.
I talking about the scene.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was.
The
It
dragon
was
one? That was Massive Horns.
No,
wasn't it?
the little silver dragon that was giving you clues. It led you into a this house of ill repute, and
It was in
Celine.
Mask of Horns, though.
No, that's right. No, we did make our way literally from Mask of Horns all the way to Lake Rideye. Yeah, because we were hunting down the fucking that's that one.
We went.
Yeah, we were hunting down the Fomorians.
Yep.
We went back to Lake Rideye.
I thought we went out into the woods from Mask of Horns.
We
Yeah.
did, but we literally went all the way through the woods to Lake Rideye. I see what Maddie's getting at. Like when we were chasing down the clues, we literally went so far into the woods. We went to Lake Rideye because that's only because we traveled like a day after them.
And this is the same area where Norlai and Bright tried to get the ferry to go down the river with the donkey. This is where
Ooh, that part.
it wasn't Jade. It was
Jacob.
Jacob chased some like criminals through the piers. Yeah. I might have used this scene as like a port area, but this even labeled as the tab. This is Lake Rideye, and you did.
Yeah.
I must have missed something because I thought all of that was in Mask of Horns.
Oh.
Yeah, no, because
If I'm misremembering, but I'm
remember-
fairly certain that Lake
Yeah.
Rideye did have.
Now we're gonna have to review the tape.
Because this was playback, everyone.
Yeah, no.
We'll have
I
to
think
look
I-
up on YouTube.
Things were a lot more
I-
loosey goosey here because it's a smaller city. You all don't have to wear a mask. There was a lot of warehouses and ships that had a lot of things. There was an encounter where Bright, I think, ended up like force pushing a bully off into the water.
Yeah, I threw a guy into the river.
Yeah,
He wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
that was
I
around
remember
there.
that part. Yeah.
Kid flirt
yeah.
with Norlai.
But yeah, there
He's-
was.
He's
a...
lucky he didn't get the manure. He just got the river.
Yeah. But come on, the river definitely has contents.
I'm not in a manure kind of mood right now.
Yeah, oh jeez.
Bright's feeling icky.
Yeah.
She's
But-
feeling uber icky.
But yeah,
Nice.
this was also, you discovered a Shadowhar warehouse here that had a bunch
Yeah, I
of boxes
remember that.
and stuff. So
Yeah, no, I do remember. What had happened was when we were chasing the clues of the Fomorians, we had to leave Mask of Horns to follow them. Not only because we were following the clues, but also because Bright was a fugitive.
what?
And we chased them through the We chased them through the forest. We followed their trail through the forest all the way to Lake Eye. We finally got the clues that we needed. We actually were going back to Mask of Horns, and then the eye fell out of Celine's hands, and the Fey portal opened. Because that was between Lake Eye and Mask of Horns that we did that. And then we went for our fight with Olans.
Yeah, no. In my mind, all of that happened in Mask of Horns. Then we went to. So I missed something.
It was.
I missed like one line of that dialogue.
Well,
It's
still,
like, oh, you're now on
Lake
Lake Right Eye.
has a CD warehouse stock district. There are pillow houses. There's warehouses. There's
The House of Ilver House of
regular-
Ilver.
yeah,
Those are
house-
the
houses.
pillow houses.
There are also nice establishments, so you don't have to be here if you don't want to. But if you're looking for, illicit goods or shady company, or I don't know, you need to like sneak onto a barge and get out under the cover of night. It just so happens to be night, and there's also happens to be barges. But anyway, you're entering town on this side of town, on Elks with an RGB Norelei, and certainly there's like a road watch as well that is just giving you all an up and down glance.
Someone spiked
yeah.
Noralei's rations with meth.
You're not being stopped, but definitely here at one of the major exits and entrances to town, there's a lot of people who just see, 4 characters, just kind of glomping up on huge creatures.
Despawn the Elks when we're close enough. Oh yeah, this town. I let Fenrir out to try to track something, and then he ran off into a warehouse with the Shadow Heart, and then they talked for a while, and then I had to come get him because he was taking so long.
Yeah.
And then they gave me cookies.
Yes, they did. They were very nice.
They weren't nice at all.
Well, you didn't.
They were nice to her
really
because she told them all sorts of stuff.
In hindsight, probably not the best idea.
This isn't the character facepalm.
I mean, I didn't tell them anything that important.
Everything's important, Norlai. It's a matter of how important.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, we find some place to rest and then head out for Old Port tomorrow.
There's a tumbled wench here if you want to stay at that. Familiar brand. Any city that's a city has one. If you don't want to stay at one, you can go to a CD dive. You can go to an up class, like, oh, this is, fine dining seafood establishment, or...
Boy, I'm not in a seafood kind of mood either.
Well,
Not that I ever am, but especially right now.
Hey, you saw a lot of it today.
Tumbled wench sounds fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are always nice.
Okay. Elks are blooped away. Norlai, you come down from this luminescent jitter, and you start walking through this district to get to the Tumbled Wench. It exists. I don't have any more maps for Lake Right Eye, so we're just going to go to the Tumbled Wench because a lot of them are the same. It's a very popular and very standardized franchise all throughout Mesotopia.
This is a small town. They only have a Tumbled Wench Express.
You're probably not wrong. So you walk in, familiar layout, maybe a little different. They have different stuff up on the walls than you'd find in other cities, but that's just to make a standardized model look a little bit more, custom. Prices are fairly the same. What type of a room would you like?
Well, they probably don't have very many being a small town, so we'll take probably one large room.
Okay.
If everybody's okay with that.
Of course.
They do have a nice room, and it is open, but that's also because it costs 2 gold to stay.
Oh no.
Oh no, 2 gold.
Oh no, 2 gold. That's a steal. Yeah.
All of you watching at home, if you clip this, and I want you to go back like 50 episodes, and when I would have said it cost 2 gold, they're just, we're not going to survive. Oh, how are we?
We had
We're not hurting
nobody.
for money anymore.
Well, we were poor then. No, we're not.
We're not. We're very. We're very rich.
Bougie company.
We bougie people.
Very well. You put the 2 gold on the desk. You have the one nice room here that can accommodate you all. Of course, continental breakfast will be served in the morning, and until then, you can just go and rest. They can. You got the good room, Bright. If you want a hot bath, they will have staff bring up buckets of hot water to fill the tub for you.
I would love that. But first, do they have any like continental dinner? Like I could really go for like some bean soup or a nice salad.
You can order one separately, but yes, you can have dinner. There is still food being served.
I need something to settle my stomach.
Okay. Very well. For 1 copper, you can be served a seaweed salad made with fresh lake seaweed.
Do they have anything better?
It's not terrible. I don't know if the seafood, that umami taste, is overpowering for you.
Well, it's not that. It's just like seaweed by itself. That's just like cabbage by itself. It's not very good.
I mean, if it's roasted, it's a very delicious snack.
Yeah, you can get a. They have a mushroom and nut medley that you can eat. Fresh
Sounds
fall
good.
ingredients.
I'll have that. That sounds nice.
Okay. Served nice and warm. It's not quite a soup, but I mean the mushrooms have been simmered, and the like the acorns and other things that have been harvested have been boiled, so they're kind of soft. They're not going to shatter your teeth. But yeah, there you go. For 1 copper, you can have a nice fall in autumnal medley.
Okay. I feel better now. And a hot bath, that'll help too.
Okay. Yep. So a hot bath is served. You are spending the night in Lake Red-Eye in the not bad part of town. It sounds like there's a couple scuffles outside. Probably people leaving the bar, or just going down the street and people being people. It is a very sailory town. Where things are a little loosey goosey. Like they don't even enforce the mask rules here. And for those of you from Mezamaska, it's like that's kind of that was kind of a thing. It feels like there's less of that going on now too. There is a Shadowhar presence. There are Shadowhar water vessels that were in the docks as you're passing by. There are Shadowhar staying here, and even. There is there's a place that you had walked by. It used to be a small park, but it now seems to be a landing pad for a Shadowhar airship, and there was one that was here. And from the size and the general make, Mordecai, you can identify that that's one of those troop transport ships. So it probably has light armament and can carry, X amount of soldiers who are probably enjoying the goods and or services provided by Lake Red-Eye. But there is a transport airship here.
This change is unsettling for Mordecai because he found it in an instant. Everyone else has been gradual, and he's a bit taken aback by how much Shadowheart presence is here. But he has to remind himself it's been 2 years. It's not an instant. If we've been gone for that long, then people have become accustomed to this, and causing a stink about it is just going to cause problems.
Mordecai, as you've been walking through town and you do see this, roll an insight for me, please.
I'm not great at that anymore.
Okay. Nothing else to add.
This doesn't even feel like his home anymore. It's so different.
To back that up as well, boy, I'm sorry, Mordecai. I keep twisting. I let the dagger go that I'm twisting, and then you. I'm like, oh, hang on, 1/4 inch more. A lot of the businesses do say things like Shadowheart welcome and other like friendly, like, hey, do business with us, sort of solicitations.
Which is fine. Like, Mordecai is not. He's not like. He's not xenophobic, but it's a culture shock to him right now. Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even, this wasn't a thing. Before he set off to find the Chroma Company, this wasn't a thing. Mesomaskins were resistant against the Shadowheart, and now they're accepting them in, and it's weird. But that's just because Mordecai, as chaotic as he can be, as weird and eccentric as he can be, likes things the way that they were. But things change.
With that reflection, do you want to do anything any of you individually? Do you want to do something in town, or are you resting, recharging spells or swapping, and then leaving to arrange a boat ride?
I want to cast my familiar.
Ooh, okay.
I know it's been a couple of thousand years, but I'm not sure how the time works for familiars who have been decorporealized. But Mordecai got me some incense on Selter's ship. I don't remember how much, but I think I have like 3 or 4 now. So that'll be nice, because familiars, they only have 1 hit point, and it's dangerous for them out there in the world. But I want to reach out and see if I can find Piggy Sue. And I'll tell her that I'm very sorry it's been so long, but I've been doing some thinking, and I realized that I didn't want her to have to follow us while we were in hell, because it just wasn't right. We weren't quite right, or at least I wasn't. Maybe nobody was except for Mordecai, I don't know. And it was just better that she didn't have to be there with that. Plus, it's pretty hot and dry down there, and I don't know if crickets can live in that kind of an environment. But I just want to light up the incense and see if I can find her out there. And if she's not out there, then I understand. But I hope that she is.
Are you doing, like, if we're to paint the scene here, like, are you doing this in the bath, like, because you have incense and you're sort of like there to relax and get clean, and maybe you're thinking and you want to try it there? Or is this you've dried off and maybe you're in a robe or whatever, or if you carry pajamas, I don't know if you do, but you hop on the bed and you're doing it there? Or when or where are you doing this?
Actually, I think the bath is a pretty good idea. I was thinking I might climb up on the roof afterward, but I think in the bath is just fine because that's totally a place where you could have incense. I'll have the window open, just so it doesn't get too choky.
Sure.
But yeah, that's actually just right, and that'll make it easier to think too.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Like, bright is just like, you're reflecting, you feel this, it's the warm water, and you're just in the bath, and this wave of sentiment and thought, and you have the incense, which can also burn and be, nice smelling and peaceable as well. I can see you sort of incorporating the vibe also into the spell, in this moment. So, yeah, you cast the spell, and what we'll do is I need to get up and I need to take a little break. Maybe everyone else out there does too. And I will describe what happens when we come back from the break from this, because you're casting as a ritual anyway. So I mean, you're in the bath, just sort of like chilling.
Well, it's an hour cast anyway, ritual or not.
Oh,
so.
you might want some more hot water brought up at some point. But yeah, no, that'll
I can.
work.
Yeah, I mean, I can heat it with prestidigitation, but probably need fresh water after a little while anyway.
Man, you're gonna be a raisin coming out of that. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
Let's take a
You are what you eat. They say.
let's take a 10-minute break. Yeah, they probably had raisins in that fall mix too. Let's take a 10-minute break. Eat, snack, drink, whatever. Take a 10-minute power nap, I guess, if you need to, if you can. That's kind of a cool power. And we'll be back to describe what goes on here, and we'll see how the night goes, and where the Chroma Company will end up in this next half of the game.